Good evening and a very warm welcome to Calendar.
Yes, good evening. Thanks for joining us. These are Friday's headlines.
West Yorkshire Police confirmed the force is now investigating allegedly racist comments made by the Conservative Party donor Frank Hester.
The March of the Day.
Over the course of the next couple of days, there's going to be over 700 walkers taking part. So just that really community spirit and just trying to keep raising that awareness.
Sporting stars join forces and go ground to ground in the fight against MND. Also tonight,
For his father, the fallen and all who served. Why the sound of bagpipes has been ringing out in the run-up to a very special D-Day anniversary.
And is it weather for venturing outside this weekend? Certainly seen a better dose of blue sky today and some lovely examples of cirro and alto cumulus cloud. I'll of course have more of your photos and the forecast a little later on.
For being with us. First tonight to another epic fundraising challenge in the fight against motor neurone disease.
around 100 former footballers and family members joined former teammates Stephen Darby and Marcus Stewart on a 175-mile walk starting at Valley Parade in Bradford.
They'll finish at Anfield in Liverpool on Sunday, all of course to raise money for a cure against MND. Today they've been pounding the Yorkshire pavement and Arif Ahmed was there.
Hundreds gathered on the Valley Parade pitch this morning to help in the fight against motor neurone disease. Friends, family and former teammates of Marcus Stewart, Stephen Darby and Rob Burrow, who all have MND, came together for a fundraising walk as they look to raise money and awareness into the nerve degenerative condition, which currently has no cure.
Semi-odd ex-pros and managers coming to join, the football family's starting to wake up to MND a bit, and it's quite a nice feeling. So hopefully this will snowball over the years, over the months, and there can be more events that the football community can do.
I think before, say, somebody like Rob was diagnosed, there was very little public awareness. So anything that we can do to get that awareness and push that forward, is fantastic.
What we're going to kind of go through over the next 2.5 days isn't anything in comparison to what those with the disease ends up with. So, it pales into comparison. So anything we can do, it's a drop in the ocean.
See the power that sport has to make real change, and that's what we want to do here today. We want to get the football community behind us to really impact and create a serious dent into what MND can do.
By 9 o'clock they were on their way. Leaving in small groups, they were cheered off as they left Bradford. Its destination, Anfield. It'll take them 3 days to complete this 175-mile trek as they take in 17 football stadiums along the way. By lunchtime, they reached their first milestone. 10 miles in, they arrived at Ellen Road.
So pleased to see the support for Marcus and Stuart on the walk. It was brilliant, really enjoyed it.
How does it compare to the marathons and everything else that you've...
Do you know, it's actually quite hard. I think walking's actually harder than running. But no, just it was so lovely, chatting to people on the route, people that have been affected by MND and just, again, that community, that football community along with the rugby community coming together. So it was a really enjoyable morning. Yeah, it's been lovely.
After a brief stop, it was time to march on to Huddersfield. By late afternoon, in their small groups, they arrived at the John Smiths.
It's hard work on the road all the time, tarmac, and the wind's a bit of a battle, certainly cold. And I think it's windburn more than sunburn at the moment.
So my dad died of it last year, and it's, you walk along and you think of him and the sport and everybody else beeping the horns as we walk along, giving us some good support. So yes, it's been a really nice day and a great cause, and one that is close to my heart and that I want to support.
After a short pit stop, they pounded the pavement towards the Pennines. With a long night of walking ahead of them, they do so knowing they've already smashed their £100,000 target. Arif Ahmed, ITV News.
Good luck and well done to them all. Now, next tonight, our other main story. In West Yorkshire Police has today confirmed that its officers are now investigating comments allegedly made by the Leeds businessman and Conservative Party donor Frank Hester.
He reportedly said that the MP Diane Abbott made him want to hate all black women. Mr Hester has denied his criticism had anything to do with the colour of her skin.
Our reporter Helen Steele has been following events today. Good evening, Helen. Why is the West Yorkshire Police Force now involved?
Well, Diane Abbott, Britain's first and longest serving black MP, had made a complaint to the Metropolitan Police's Parliamentary and Investigations team about those alleged comments. Now, officers from the West Yorkshire Force are now investigating because they were reportedly made here at the headquarters of Frank Hester's company in Horsforth. Well, tonight in a statement, West Yorkshire Police said it was working to establish the facts and ultimately to ascertain whether a crime has been committed. It added, "We recognise the strong reaction to these allegations and appreciate everyone who has contacted us."
The Prime Minister has been asked about this again today, hasn't he, Helen?
Well, yes, Frank Hester is one of the Tories' top donors, having given more than £10 million in the past 2 years. Well, during a visit to Derbyshire, Rishi Sunak was asked once again whether he would be accepting any more money from him.
This morning, West Yorkshire Police said they're investigating the alleged racist comments made by the Conservative Party donor Frank Hester in 2019. Isn't it time you handed back his money and refused to accept any more from him?
Well, obviously it wouldn't be right for me to comment on police matters, but as I've said previously, what he said was wrong and racist, and he rightfully has apologised for it.
So that's what the Prime Minister had to say. Any word from Mr Hester this evening, Helen?
Well, we have approached Frank Hester for comment, but there's been nothing tonight so far. But he has previously accepted that he was rude about Diane Abbott in a private meeting several years ago. But that criticism had nothing to do with gender or the colour of her skin. Well, as with many investigations, police are asking anyone who can directly assist with their investigation to come forward.
Helen Steele, thanks very much for bringing us up to date live there in Horsforth in Leeds. Thank you.
Time for some other news from around the region. And Bradford Interchange bus station will remain closed for a further 3 months as more detailed surveys are carried out. The bus station was closed in January after concrete fell down in the basement area of the car park. It'll stay closed while the condition of the interchange is established, with a view to deciding the future operation of the complex.
Sheffield's tram network has officially come back under public control today after being run privately for the last 27 years. The change will allow the South Yorkshire's Mayor's Office to set routes, timetables and fares. There are also plans to extend the network and bring the buses back under public control by the end of the year.
Well, it's time to catch up with the weekend sport now.
Xero Accounting Software sponsors ITV Regional Sports Report.
And Chris is with us, of course. Now it's Challenge Cup weekend, isn't it?
It is, Lara, you're right. And you know what? We're down to the last 16 teams, so that Wembley arch is starting to come into view for those teams. Now, it might look a little bit more distant for the Sheffield Eagles because they have the unenviable trip to Super League champions Wigan tonight. For those of a certain vintage, that fixture will bring back memories of the 1998 Challenge Cup final when Sheffield shocked the world with victory over what was a formidable Wigan side. Man of the match that day was Mark Aston, now the Eagles head coach.
Memories is what we're in the sport for, and certainly the memories that we had in '98 was something special. Different memories for the guys on Friday night, playing against the world champions, the best team in Super League at present. You know, we're going to go there under no illusions, under no pressure. We can go and put a smile on his face with no fear and enjoy yourselves.
Good luck to them. I'm sure the Eagles will be doing their best not to get knocked out. And talking of which, there's a big night of boxing at the Sheffield Arena tomorrow. Headlining the bill is the Steel City's own Dalton Smith, who weighed in this afternoon ahead of his fight with Jose Zepeda. The unbeaten super lightweight says it's now time for him to fulfil his ambitions.
But when I'm very confident of going in, putting a big display and, propelling my name up to the higher levels. You have to realise we've come a long way to do what we're doing now. Topping the main events. It seems like I was a little kid yesterday. Time goes so fast, but when you're younger, you think, oh, it's a million miles away. It comes so fast, and yeah, it's crazy.
He'll be world champion soon, no doubt. Now, from one hot prospect to another, 18-year-old Archie Gray is enjoying a stellar breakthrough season with hometown club Leeds United, and now He's making his mark at international level as well. 5 minutes after coming on to make his England under-21s debut this afternoon, he did this, scoring England's 5th in a 5-1 win over Azerbaijan. Great stuff. And staying with football, I'm going to sound like something of a stuck record now, because this will be the 4th time I've said Chesterfield could win promotion back to the Football League. It could have happened last weekend, it could have happened on Tuesday and on Wednesday as well. But this defeat to Halifax delayed the party. It does mean the Spirex have the chance to clinch the National League title in front of their own fans at a sold-out SMH Group Stadium tomorrow. All they need is a single point from their match against Boreham Wood, whereas the Sheffield Steelers can also win Ice Hockey's Elite League if they win both their matches this weekend. Chesterfield, putting me through the rigour, aren't
Are you
they?
sure about that?
Well, I'm hoping.
We're
It's
all
got to happen
hoping.
this weekend, hasn't it?
You're not a jinx, are you?
I probably am, you know.
No, you're not. You're not.
I probably am.
Thank you.
Let's hope not.
Thank you.
Now, what's happening over this side of the studio,
Busy
Lara?
in the studio tonight, isn't it? Oh, we've got lions behind you. I'm speechless.
I've got some nature news. Listen to this. 4 lions that were taken out of war-torn Ukraine have been rehomed at the Yorkshire Wildlife Park in Doncaster. Aisha was rescued from a private collection in Donetsk before giving birth to 3 cubs at a sanctuary in Ukraine. Now, the lions will spend their first few weeks under observation by staff before they can actually be seen by the public. So that's great news and something to look forward to. Now, this is the headline that I was going to use behind me today.
Is that snow?
It looks a little bit wintry, doesn't it?
What?
There is a risk of any of the showers tonight coming down wintry and falling as snow, and certainly maybe settling above 400 metres. But the road surface temperatures at the moment are running certainly today at around 20 degrees, so nothing is going to settle and it's not going to cause any problems on the region's roads or anything, but you might see it falling if you're driving right over the tops overnight tonight and through into tomorrow. And there's showers, it's not blanket snow or rain. So this was today. We had that front pushing its way south and eastwards really quickly this morning. We've had a lovely slice of sunshine. Yes, it's become a little bit more dappled this afternoon in the north and west, and those showers are heading our way as we head through this evening and overnight tonight. So you can see that contrast, just that little bit of a warm section in the southeast of the UK during the course of today, but everywhere turns blue tomorrow, and actually those winds are really strong. I mentioned it yesterday, a little bit of a wind chill factor as we head through into the weekend, Saturday for sure, but it's looked gorgeous today, hasn't it? This was Bolton Abbey earlier on today, really starting to look like spring now. We just need that sunshine and it really starts to make us feel a lot better. This was Scarborough, a big thank you to Rose. Now, we were talking about birds earlier on in the week, so I thought I'd use a few just to tell the story as we head through into the weekend. So you're going to need to wrap up your delicates and take care of the little ones. This is a long-tailed tit. A big thank you to Sean Boyle. It is going to be cold and it is going to be windy. Definitely windy when Roy Briggs took that shot. And also you need to look west by the end of the weekend because there is a change on the way as we head towards the first week of the school holes. Sorry about that.
Brilliant. I love it. You'll have to do it every night, won't we? Have birds to tell the story.
I'll not do it every night, I promise.
Thank you. Finally tonight to a story of bravery, remembrance and dedication, and a tribute to an incredibly courageous soldier and piper who played as his comrades scrambled onto the beaches of Normandy on D-Day.
Bill Millen took his bagpipes into the water in June 1944, pressing forward through a hail of bullets.
In the countdown of 80 days to the 80th anniversary of that day, Bill's son is playing the pipes every morning in his North Nottinghamshire garden to remember the sacrifice of all. Emma Wilkinson reports.
Each morning as this unmistakable sound echoes through the village of Rampton, the man creating it thinks of his father doing the same as war raged around him.
This shows my father at the landing craft about to disembark.
Piper Bill, as he became known, was a commando who played the pipes as troops fought their way ashore on D-Day. He was ordered to do so by his commander, Lord Lovat.
He must have been terrified.
He was terrified, but he struck up the pipes and he started marching along the beach. And the sights he saw remained with him and repeated in his head every year after that. 600 men died on Sword Beach. He saw some of the men he just sailed with over the channel, killed in front of him.
As well as photographs and newspaper clippings documenting his father's story, John has also kept items that Bill carried with him during the war.
Dad never went anywhere without the works of Robbie Burns. And this is his practice chanter. This was in his kit bag.
The D-Day landing and Bill's role within it was depicted in this scene from the 1962 film The Longest Day, which at the time was described as a stunning war epic and later picked up 2 Academy Awards. Bill always felt it was important to share his story, but doing so took its toll.
The constant reminders that affected him psychologically, but at the same time he thought, well, if people are going to focus on the bagpipes, then they'll not forget. So every time he played, it was an act of remembrance.
Growing up, John always shied away from learning to play himself. But just a couple of weeks before his father died, he promised him that he would learn just one song and play it when a statue of him was unveiled in France.
That must have been an extremely proud moment for you.
It was, because as I was playing the first part, and then 500 other pipes and drums came in on the second. I think he would have been proud that I'd finally picked up the pipes to play.
In the countdown to the anniversary of D-Day, John will play each day for 10 days before handing over to his son and then other pipers to do the same. As the music plays, John will think of a speech Lord Lovat gave to his troops.
In 100 years' time, your children's children will look back and say, they must have been giants. Now, my father was my giant, and it's important that we keep that memory alive.
What a fitting tribute to his father.
And not everybody likes the sound of the bagpipes, but I think played in the right place and on the right occasion, they're very moving, aren't they?
They are. They certainly are. Well, children have broken up for the Easter holidays today, so let's catch up with Kerry and see if we're in for a good one.
Good visibility on the horizon. TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
Hello again. Some showers developing for this evening and overnight tonight, but we've done okay today. Definitely more in the way of sunshine and just that patchy, mainly fair weather cloud across many parts of the region. It's definitely a cold weekend. For tomorrow, the winds will be strong, a significant wind chill with showers. Sunday, drier or fewer showers and the winds will be lighter. Low pressure that's to the northeast feeding in that northerly air as we head through into Saturday and the start of Sunday will push away. So an improving story in terms of the feel of things on Sunday, but you can see from the west low pressure starts to establish itself Monday into Tuesday, so it does become more unsettled into next week. Overnight tonight, certainly see a few showers developing, could be on the heavy side, there could be some hail, maybe even some wet snow over higher ground pushing its way through. It's going to feel chilly, temperatures down to the low single figures, but breezy or blustery enough to keep most of us from escaping a frost as we head towards dawn tomorrow. Very sun times 6 o'clock and 6:26. Chilly start tomorrow. There will be a mix of sunny spells and showers, more in the way of showers compared to today. In the sunshine, it won't feel too bad, temperatures around average, but that keen west to northwesterly flow will drag in a fair few showers for the second half of the day and a little bit more cloud, and a feels like of around 1 to 4 Celsius for most of us, so it will feel cold and exposure to that wind. The winds do become lighter, certainly fresh and quite showery out towards the coast first thing on Sunday, otherwise a decent dollop of sunshine. Temperatures recovering a little bit, but everything waiting in the west, more unsettled outlook Monday into Tuesday.
TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
I should say my children have broken up for Easter, but not all kids have across the region.
That's true.
Like a 3-week span.
Thank you very much for watching tonight.
Yes, the national and international news is coming up with more on that breaking news this evening. For now, though, a very good night.